Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show, by any host, or by any guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before you begin any new diet, exercise, or training program. And thank you for listening to the Whole Care Network.
Welcome to Healing Ties on the Whole Care Network. On Healing Ties, we're creating a life to love after caregiving ends by sharing stories and resources and being with awesome people like you. Now that caregiving has ended, let the Healing Ties begin. Here's your host, Chris McClellan, the Bow Tie Guy.
Well, greetings, everyone. It is Chris McClellan, the Bow Tie Guy, for our third of our 6-series podcast featuring Barbara McAfee. Our podcast series is entitled Songs for the Caregiving Soul, and today we're going to go a little more upbeat today, Barbara. Welcome to
Hi.
the show. Yeah, we're going to go upbeat because, while the last two podcasts have, goodness, they've had a lot of terrific meaning to them. Today, you've got a song by the name of Brain Rat. Before we get into the song, remind our listeners a little bit about you and your background, and we'll start talking about that junk that's in our head.
Yeah. Well, I am all about voice. I am a singer-songwriter, performer, speaker, song leader, and I also lead a little comfort choir here in Minneapolis where I live. We've been singing for people who are having a crappy day. It's one way of putting it. We're all volunteers, and we sing for people in hospital, hospice, chronic illness, depression, things like that. I'm also an author. I wrote a book called Full Voice, The Art and Practice of Vocal Presence. And so basically it's a guide to help people find their voice, whatever that means to them. So I'm a busy girl.
And you're a busy girl, and you're also a family caregiver. I don't want to leave that out.
Oh, boy, am I ever. I should put that at the top of the list. Yes, my mom's 94. Mom is 94, and I am increasingly stepping up for her as her memory starts to wander off to her next destination.
And we talked a little bit about your mom. Last week's podcast number 2.
Yes, her name is Win, and people always want to call her Lynn or Gwen or something, so she always says win, not lose. So charming.
Good. I do hope I get a chance to meet her. That would be wonderful. So we're moving into Brain Rats now. I kind of let the cat out of the bag, or the rat out of the bag earlier. I don't know when I said the junk in, about all that junk in your head. So, so define brain rats to us. I hope I didn't give it away too much, but I'm sure you've got a more deeper explanation. I'm sure you have a more deeper explanation.
Well, it is. I wrote the song. It's very silly, and I wrote it basically just highlighting all the junk that runs around in your head, all the stories about, I can't trust anyone, or I'm a fake, or if people really knew me, they wouldn't love me, or I'll never have enough money, or, fill in the blank. We all have them. And I wrote it, and I thought, this is just so silly. It'll never probably go anywhere. I enjoyed it very much. And it has become actually one of the most popular songs I've made, and I'm actually going to be making the music video for it this summer.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And at my dining room table where I'm recording this, I have a huge pile of stuffed toy rats that are going to be featured in the video.
Well, I think without further ado, we should just listen to the song. So here we go with Barbara McAfee's Brain Rats. We'll be back on the other side.
Brain rats, I've got brain rats, a pestilential blight upon my mind. Brain rats are the wicked thoughts that prove my every flaw, and every hopeful notion gives them something new to gnaw. I hear them chewing in the night, and off all day. They've really got my number, all the awful stuff they say. Brain says she loves me, but no doubt she's telling lies. And friends are all just enemies in ingenious disguise. There's no one to be trusted, and that's including me. The best approach to human beings is fierce misanthropy. Brain rats, I've got brain rats, a pestilential blight upon my mind. I need a lot more money than I'll ever live to earn. And late at night I count my debts as I fret and toss and turn. I'm one step from the poorhouse, I can't make it on my own. I'll be just like that match girl, dying cold and all alone. Brain rats, I've got brain rats, a pestilential blight upon my mind. They torture with such cunning, like little Marquise de Sade. They wreak unstinting havoc beneath my cool facade. They tell me I'm worse than everyone, my problems can't be solved, and I'm the piece of crap around which this whole world revolves. Brain rats, I've got brain rats, a pestilential blight upon my mind.
Oh, goodness gracious, St. Ignatius. I've got brain rats. Oh my gosh. I just couldn't write enough notes down as I was going through the song. But sometimes we do live a little bit too much in our head.
Well, and I think particularly as caregivers, we're destined to fail. We are not going to do it right. We're going to be impatient. We're going to make the wrong choice. We're going to snap. We're going to miss something. And I think the minute we lose our sense of humor, it gets really bad really fast.
As I was listening to the song again, I kept thinking about lying in bed and thinking about my day and all the things that I forgot to do and how that was just, those are kind of like my brain rats.
Yes.
And oh my God, the torture. Oh, we torture ourselves with our brain. With the brain rats just torture us back and forth, second guessing. I guess it maybe might be another part that we do in this with these brain rats.
Yes, and I think part of it. I think now that I've written it and it's become I've wondered why do people respond to this like they do, and I think part of it is that if a lot of our brain rats, we keep secrets because we don't want to look bad. You don't want to tell the truth about just like how terrible we feel. And then also we take them very seriously. And I think making it public and funny helps sort of make it more of a common human experience. It's like, what? We all have them and they all sound pretty much the same, right?
Yes.
It's like, oh, I'm an idiot. What? Blah, 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 blah. It's not that creative or interesting, except when it's 3:00 in the morning and you're lying awake, second guessing yourself or rehashing or putting yourself on a meat hook about something you did or didn't do.
What an excellent point when you talked about secrets, because when you really get right down to it, we don't have secrets. Secrets have us. And
that's for sure.
And when we just keep letting those secrets pile on top, boy, you're just feeding those rats. You're just feeding those brain rats, and they're just gnawing on you. Oh my goodness! The analogies are just flying left and right here.
You're hot. You're hot, Chris. Keep going. I'll write another verse if you keep going.
I probably could come up with it, but it does. When you use the analogy of secrets and secrets and second guessing ourselves. Oh my gosh, it just where is that? Where are we able to let go and just be and just do in this whole role as a caregiver,
and to have such compassion,
because second guessing. I think we all we all second guess. Did we do the right thing? Could we have done something better? But we come to learn eventually down the road that our caregiving cape is limited, and there's only so much we can really do.
Yeah, I actually wrote a blog out of Mom was going through some challenges, and I was doing more caregiving than I had been, and I wrote this blog. A friend of mine is a Buddhist, a wise Buddhist person, and she said there's this Buddhist practice that when you're suffering in some way, if you just consider all the other people in the world who are suffering the same way you are, it helps you feel sort of less special. And you just send prayers of compassion for everyone who's lonely or tired or exhausted or fed up or struggling with the system or whatever it is. And so out of that, I wrote a blog actually a while back called "This Is When I Think of You," and it's just it's my practice of saying, when I'm putting the walker in the car for the 6th time today, or when I'm repeating myself, or just all these places. This is when I think of you, because I know so many people who are doing caregiving for elderly parents. I was just with a friend whose daughter she's doing caregiving for her daughter who was just in a car accident. You don't have to look far to see somebody who's doing that important work, but so much of it is unwitnessed and lonely. And you can feel like there's nobody who's doing it or nobody cares. And I don't know, that really helped me a lot in that time. And it has since, to just think of all of my friends that I do and do not know who are walking the same path I am.
Well, and it really comes down to, I believe there's 3 things that caregivers need. They need respite, they need resources, and those resources the best resources usually come from other caregivers. But I think the most important thing every caregiver needs is validation. Validation that, yes, this is hard and it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. And when you're able to talk that out and relate to other people, I don't know, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, that's going to help stop those brain rats from gnawing at you.
Absolutely. I think telling the truth is telling the truth, It's really helpful. I have those people that I call on the way home from Mom sometimes, just say, okay, can you just listen to me? And I can just rant and rave and say all these things that are not fair and not appropriate and not long-suffering and patient. It's just like, if I have to listen to that one more time, I'm just going to, and just sort of cough up my hairballs,
Cough up my hairballs. Oh, my gosh.
Well, we got the rats. We got to give the cats equals
we got to give the cats equals. And I'm sure all of our listeners have noted with our 3rd podcast that, we're a little bit more lighthearted, but on a topic that is still very meaningful and serious. And we do have to sometimes take a step outside of ourselves and really laugh and enjoy, because the time is limited, and with these brain rats we want to shoo them away. I want to be playing this song a lot. Goodness. Well, Barbara, we just had a couple of minutes left. Good. These go by too quick. What are we?
I know.
We're just going to have to do more, and we are going to do more. I guess so. We got three more left. How about that? So, remind our listeners how they can find your wonderful music and your book and learn more about you.
Easiest way is www.barbaramcafee.com, and all of my music is available on iTunes and other places like that, and my book's available through Amazon and other places like that. So, if you Google me, you'll find terrifying amounts of information.
And you also will find a song by the name of Brain Rats and a lot of other great songs. And not only you're creating healing ties, you're removing brain rats from everybody as well by your great work. It's just a delight to do these with you, Barbara. Thanks so much.
My honor.
Okay, well, that does it for episode 3. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we look forward to next week's podcast as we listen and chat with Barbara about her song, Surrounding You. And we want to thank you for listening, and we welcome your comments and feedback. Send us an email at at wholecarenetwork.com. I'm your host, Chris McClellan, the Bowtie Guy. I'm creating a life to love after caregiving ends through radio, writing, travel, advocacy, and being with awesome people like Barbara McAfee. Healing Ties and songs for the caregiver soul are part of the Whole Care Network. Visit us online at thewholecarenetwork.com, where you can meet our show host, listen to all our shows, especially our podcast series featuring Barbara McAfee. Make it a great week, everyone. Be well, bye-bye, and enjoy this encore performance of Brain Rats.
And on and off all day, they've really got my number, all the awful stuff they say. Brain rats, I've got brain rats, a pestilential blight upon my mind. My mother says she loves me, but no doubt she's telling lies. And friends are all just enemies in ingenious disguise. There's no one to be trusted, and that's including me. The best approach to human beings is fierce misanthropy.